So here's the new high water alarm system. I'm using an old push button stereo that stays on when there's no power. That's the important thing. So that when you plug it in or it's energized, it automatically turns on. So I have it plugged into this piggyback outlet that comes from this Ray-Bend vertical float switch. And what this is typically used for is to control a sump pump. I plug the radio in. I'm using it as a backup system, warning system. I installed a new sump pump, which is the fourth or fifth one in the last 22 or so years. It did flood once, where we got about an inch of water on the back half of the unfinished side of the basement. No real water damage. It just happened to come downstairs and found it was starting to flood. So I went and got a new sump. But I just added this today. My spool high water warning. These two sensors here are just about at the height of the bottom of these two 4-inch inlets. That pump turns on a foot below these inlets, so if that pump ever quit, it would fill up. These sensors would sense the water. My spool here sends me a text message to my phone. I've already set up the account and tested that it works. And then this here water alarm, the Watchdog, $16, I think they are at Home Depot. I put it in here 3 years ago when I put the last sump in here, and it did go off and warned us enough to come down and fix it. So the two backup alarms are the email and text alert. An alarm that is a high-pitched sound that I couldn't hear it when it went off, but my wife did. And then the third backup is when that float raises right about halfway up this 4-inch drain. My radio turns on and blasts throughout the house. That will give plenty of time to get a new sump pump. I have a backup on hand, the one that came out of another part of the house. And it's all set up, ready to go. I could pull this out and swap them out in a matter of 10 minutes or so. And these 4-inch inlets here would take quite a while to fill up with water, because not only do they have to fill up, but they run around the perimeter of the basement. That would have to fill up with water, and the 4 inches of stone that are underneath this basement would have to fill up with water. So that holds a lot of water. When I did switch the pump, it took over an hour to pump all the water out that was underneath this floor. But it never did flood. Underneath the basement will hold that much water. So with these three backup systems, as long as we don't run out of power, that basement should never flood again. The float switch and this my spool, bought them on Amazon. The two of them together were somewhere around $65 or $70. Next time that pump goes, I'm going to go with a more heavy-duty commercial brand like a Zoller, but Home Depot did warranty the other pump on my word that it was only 3 years old. It did not have a receipt for it, but they honored it. So I put a cast iron sump pump in from Home Depot. That's it.